Hi everyone, and welcome to this video on using Schoology. Some of you have had the opportunity to use Schoology before, and others probably haven't. So this video is just going to be a run through of how Schoology is going to be set up for you. Schoology is a learning management system which allows us to access all of our coursework for the school year, as well as communicate with our teachers and keep us on track as far as what assignments we have, what our grades might be, as well as be an additional tool that we might use with PowerSchool. So here in Schoology is my screen here, and you might notice a few things about Schoology that might be a little bit different than we've had in previous years, or if you're new to Schoology, you'll notice a few things that are right off the bat. When you guys go to Schoology, my screen's going to be a little bit different. I'm trying to be a student view, but you guys will have Saugatuck Public Schools up top. If you click on the actual icon, you'll notice that there's a news feed right here that basically has all the posts that your teacher might post under updates. It might also have some reminders. If a teacher has a reminder, it will also have any upcoming assignments that you might have. So please be aware of that, that those things will be right in there. So course dashboard, you can click on that as well. And it shows us your dashboard there, or you can go to courses. So let's just take a look at what a course might look like. So sorry if I'm not looking. So let's just say I'm taking a technology class. You might notice a few things that when you click on your course for whatever class that you're currently in. You might notice that the landing page, or at least the first page that pops up under your course, is going to be under materials. Materials is going to be the first thing that you'll see, as well as updates will be right underneath. And this is on the left-hand side categories. You're going to have grades, you're going to have mastery, attendance, members, and then information about the class as far as like what grading period it might be. You'll also notice that your teacher will have a weekly calendar of agendas, which will show like what's going on for the week, and it'll be a running Google document for you. So if you're ever wondering, hey, what's happening this week, next week, your teacher should be updating that continuously. So this might be an example of what you might end up seeing. So like for the first week, you might end up seeing like, hey, for week 1, here's our agenda. And if it doesn't show up right away, you can always click this square with the little arrow at the top, and it will open it up in a different tab. So if I click on that as well, I can take a look. So either way, if you guys want to take a look at your course's agenda, it's going to be right there. It should have some information that your teacher is explaining, as well as what week it is, where due dates are, and this just gives kind of a rundown of what the expectations are, certain focus areas that your teacher might have on a day-to-day basis. And this is going to be something that's going to be updated week by week from your teacher. So I'm going to go back to Schoology here and scroll up a little bit. You'll also notice that you can always go back to any of your files or to the landing place, either by clicking on materials over on the left-hand side or clicking on the actual name of the course here at the top. So they're like what we call little breadcrumbs, where you can kind of see the past links or the depth of the different folders or material that are in your materials. You also find in materials your instructor or teacher might have information on how to contact them, so it can be right there. Let me refresh these here. They might have a class syllabus as well, and then unit folders or weekly folders that have all your content. This is going to be a great place for you to find all your lessons and information. So please be aware that all coursework or information that your teacher will have should be right here in the materials. There's also updates. So your teacher might also do an update for you, and it will be like Facebook or a running feed where they might post information that they might want you to have. You also can take a look at grades. This is a great spot to find, hey, did I miss anything for the class? what's going on. So if I click on grades and go to this classwork that I'm seeing, you'll notice that all your assignments that are being graded or are going to be graded are going to be in your grades area for Schoology. The nice thing is this is a great way to find old assignments. So if you're like, hey, I'm in materials or my calendar and I can't find an old assignment, it's not showing up under upcoming because it's late. Hopefully not, but sometimes you miss an assignment, you're gone, you forgot about something, your teacher's like, hey, you're missing, email me, or something that happened the previous week. If you go to grades area, you might have to scroll through a few things. It should show up. You're gonna find a list of all your assignments that are gonna be graded or aren't graded. You can click on these assignments. They're all clickable links. It tells you when it was due and the time. So be aware that some teachers have assignments timed based on like they're due before class or they're due at the end of class. You'll also notice on the right-hand side, there might be some point values. So maybe this, for example, if this course hasn't had any point values available yet, or the person, if it's a little blank line, means that they haven't graded it yet. However, it does show that, hey, I did submit something in, so that's awesome. And I can verify that at least on my end, I handed it in. The teacher just maybe didn't get a chance to grade it yet. So if you're ever wondering, did I submit something correctly? If you go to your grades in Schoology, you'll find this little note icon. At least means you submitted something. If you ever want to double check what you submitted, you can click on the actual assignment. It'll take you to the assignment. It'll say like, yes, something's been submitted or resubmitted. You can also click on the version of what you submitted, so that way you can definitely double check your work and say, oh, that is the right Google link or screenshot or whatever your teacher is looking for. So there's multiple ways for you to help yourself in verifying that something did work. I know a lot of times I get students that ask, hey, did that go through? And then they want the teacher to double check. You can do all the hard work for yourself, and you don't need to then wait for a teacher to respond to you. So it's all right there in grades in Schoology, which is really nice. The attendance, most teachers don't take attendance in Schoology, so you don't have to worry about it. And then you may be able to see some members depending on what's available. So look, I can see the members of who are at least in my class. I can click on those links and maybe message them in Schoology if I want. So that is under a certain course that you might be taking in Schoology. Another thing that's really great is you'll have reminders. I believe if something's overdue, it might show up on there as well. And then there's also upcoming. So if you're wondering, hey, what's going on? What does the week look like in terms of a calendar, what it looks like? Not only are assignments posted here, and you'll notice that it does have the date that they are due, as well as the time. So be aware that there's time frames. Not every teacher posts the exact time, but some might, so be aware of that. But if you also want to see the specific calendar and kind of take a look at like, oh, you know, like I have a few weeks, sometimes just seeing it listed isn't always the easiest way to do that. So if I click on the calendar for this course pops up. And so I can take a look and be like, okay, so I have this due on Tuesday. This is due on Friday. Sometimes it's easier to see in a calendar form with actual dates and days. And then you can always click on that actual box as well. So whatever works best for you. Schoology is really great about showing you different ways to see things. So I find that sometimes taking a look at the calendar, especially if I've missed something or I was gone for a day, I can take a look and be like, oh, I know for sure I was gone on Wednesday. I'm just going to click on that and see what my assignment was. Another thing that you can do is if you go at the very top of your Schoology page, there's that home menu bar. There's courses. You have groups if you belong to any groups here at school. Sometimes the groups have information there, different resources. But if you take a look, there's a calendar icon as well. And if you click on that calendar icon, it will show you a kind of a master calendar. It'll show you all the calendars, meaning for all your courses. And if you're somebody that's like, hey, I don't know what's going on for today for all my classes. Do I have a test in one of my classes? It will automatically default to all calendars, and you can take a look at what's going on for the day. So, for example, it shows like for every class, It doesn't necessarily say what class it is. You might have to click on the actual box, but it shows you like, hey, what's going on for Tuesday, for all of Tuesday. If you want to, again, look specifically for the certain course, you can click on this little drop-down menu, by all calendars, this little arrow. If you click on that, it will show you what courses you are enrolled in, and then you can go specifically to that class, or at least designate what that class might look like. And then it will show you for that class. Now you can change the colors as well, it looks like. This might be a new feature. So let's say like for technology, I want anything for my technology class to show up pink. Anything for a different class, I might show a different color. And you might want to do that so if it defaults to all of your calendars, or you want to show all of them, you can then do all the colors. And that way you can then designate, hey, what's going on in technology? It's all the pink. Perfect. To go back, you can just go right to courses, click on your course, and you're back at the landing page of materials for your class. So in a nutshell, this is kind of what Schoology might look for you. Obviously, you're going to have more classes that you're enrolled in, but it's a great way to take a look. So I advise you to take a look and review your coursework, review how Schoology is set up. Be aware that there's different ways that your information is going to be shown or accessed on Schoology, but that nothing should be a surprise in terms of like what assignments are due. As long as the teacher is posting them on Schoology, you should be able to find them either under upcoming, means coming up, or under grades. If you want to find the whole list of classes or of assignments for that class, it's under grades area. And it will show you exactly like what kind of things, categories are showing, what the assignment was. It'll take you right to the actual assignment that was assigned and when it was due and what points might be available. So like, for example, again, this one hasn't been graded. There's a little dash, but sometimes a teacher might put, 9 out of 10, as well as this verifies for you whether you handed something in again. So again, grades is really handy. Materials is a great landing point. So if you're ever wondering like, hey, what's going on for the day, check your materials out. Again, your teacher might give you updates, so be sure to check that as well. If you want to change your settings for Schoology, you can also go to your account area with your name, and you can go to settings. And if you're somebody that wants to get updates from your teacher, like you want it to be sent to your email, maybe you're somebody that has your phone and your email gives you notifications, you can go ahead and do that as well. So for example, you might change notifications here. And maybe like whenever a teacher does an update post, so like maybe your teacher says, hey guys, just a reminder that you have a test today. Maybe you would like an email sent to you, and you could say on. So that's really great sometimes because you don't always double check Schoology, or maybe your email comes directly to your phone if you're somebody that uses your phone as a high schooler. Those are great options as well to have. There's also, I would strongly suggest uploading or downloading a Schoology app onto your phone if in fact you're allowed to use your phone in your classroom or at school, and use that as well. It's a great tool, and there'll be additional videos on how to do that as well. So hopefully you have fun using Schoology and find that it's helpful and helps keep you organized. I know it helps keep me organized as well. And it's a great resource for you to take a look at. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask the technology teachers or ask your current coursework teacher as well. Have a wonderful day and enjoy using Schoology.